YouTube, welcome to our live broadcast. It is Monday evening. I'm going to try, sorry about that, to get this a little bit more centered here for everyone while I'm waiting for Facebook to jump on. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I apologize for all of that. I have a new phone and a new connection, so it takes a little bit to get that adjusted, but it looks like we're all set. So welcome, whether you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube. It's always great to have you guys here, and I know it is a busy week for everyone with the holiday here in the United States. So hopefully you're finding some time to relax and enjoy the people you have in your life that you choose to spend your time with. And if not, hopefully you'll be able to take some time off later in the week. I know we're chilled out here at our house, so it's been really nice. Today, I want to talk to you guys about cholesterol and could intermittent fasting or fasting in general raise your cholesterol. I just recently went through this situation myself, so I'm going to kind of share with you my story with my cholesterol and how I went about doing some changes in my life to get my cholesterol to come back down. So I'm going to fix again. I was just told by my lovely assistant that my camera was off. Okay, so if you're new, welcome. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And that's exactly what we are doing here in this community. Tonight, I'm going to share a little bit about that with you and what I have done with my cholesterol. So I have always had higher cholesterol than my husband. We eat very similarly, if not exactly the same. And every time we've had our blood work done, his cholesterol always comes out lower than mine. No idea why, other than I have a family history of high cholesterol. So I just kind of chalk it up for that, knowing that I will always have just a higher reading of cholesterol. Not necessarily high cholesterol by any means, but higher than my husband, and we eat exactly the same. Which kind of goes to show that everybody's body chemistry is so different. And you can have two people living in the same house, eating exactly the same food, and each person's body will break things down differently. That's the case with my husband and I. So I haven't really been concerned about my cholesterol. We eat very healthy. We don't eat a lot of red meat. I personally stay away from a lot of animal products as far as dairy goes. Definitely no red meat. Like I said, rarely eat pork up until I started fasting and started to kind of incorporate some what we call real bacon in our house, just because I felt like bacon, in the true sense of what bacon is supposed to be in the form of pork, would be better for me than the turkey bacon that I was eating that was full of soy lecithin. So I thought less processed bacon would probably be better. So I opted in for some bacon probably in the last year or so. Went to have some blood work done I think it was in August or September, and my cholesterol came back as 216, which my doctor wasn't really concerned about because my HDL levels were great, my triglycerides were great, all my blood sugar readings were great. So the fact that my cholesterol was 216 as far as total cholesterol, she wasn't necessarily concerned with, but I personally felt like it was too high for the way I was living my life. I had been fasting for a year and a half clean, meaning that I was in a truly fasted state for at least 20 hours a day, sometimes less, sometimes more, on the average about 20 hours a day. And I was eating really clean as far as clean goes, but like I said, adding in a couple of the extra fats that I had really not eaten before, in the form of like bacon and probably an occasional butter kind of food, but really not even too much of that because, again, I don't have a good response chemically in my body to dairy. So my cholesterol went up, but my blood sugars had gone down. So blood glucose was down back to normal. I was feeling like I had my sugars under control. My A1C went down from 5.9 gradually as I was testing, down to just recently. Last week it's down to 5.2. A year ago it was 5.4. So there was a lot of adjustments in my body's chemistry. Do I think that the way I was intermittent fasting was the reason that my cholesterol went up from, I think it was 185 to 216? Yes, I definitely do, but not necessarily for a bad reason. We have to remember that when our body's hormones are adjusting and our body chemistry is changing, everything's going to change and it's going to fluctuate up and down. When we're looking at something like our cholesterol, what we really want to look at is the big picture and not just focus on one number. So when my cholesterol came back at 216 and I saw that my doctor wasn't concerned about it, I didn't panic about it because all the scary numbers were good numbers. So my triglycerides and my HDL were all great. Even my LDL was great. Combined together, they were a high number. So what I did with that information coming home in August with that blood test is I just kind of thought to myself, okay, what if I do a couple things differently and see if I can make some changes? So the first thing I did was I went out and got some niacin. Niacin is a supplement that has been known to help your body break down cholesterol and kind of flush it out of your system. I purchased it, and I think between September or August and when I just recently went and got my blood work done, I've probably taken it 6 times total. So not diligent with it at all. I was really diligent about clean fasting during that time frame and really having good, solid, true fasted states when I was fasting, black coffee and water. 20 hours was the goal that I had most days with really solid 4-hour feasting windows. The one thing that I did change in my feasting window was I eliminated animal protein Sunday through Thursday. So if I was eating at home, I didn't eat any animal protein at all, with the exception of my collagen peptides, which is not a vegan collagen supplement that I put in my fat shake. But dinner-wise, I didn't have any animal protein. And we really only eat chicken and fish at home. So no chicken or fish Sunday through Thursday for that time frame in which I did my first test to my recent test. When we went out on the weekends, if we were eating at a restaurant and I had a salad with some chicken in it, I just ate the chicken. Or if there was something that I ordered with salmon, I had the salmon. So I didn't necessarily change anything we went out to eat. It was just the Sunday to Thursday. What that did for me in that 3-month time frame, and by not panicking about what my cholesterol reading was and just having a solid plan, I was able to decrease my total cholesterol by, I think it was 12 points in that 3 months without suffering. So I didn't do anything in my life that would cause me to suffer or feel deprived or feel like I was, on some sort of medical fix-it plan. I just really made some common sense decisions and subtly changed a few things and was able to lower it by 12 points. So with that, my HDL lowered a little bit, which, was no big deal. And my triglycerides, I think they increased a little bit too. So again, my total cholesterol came down, but other numbers shifted to adjust that. So the big message I want to share with you guys tonight is you have to be really flexible and really comfortable with the transition of what your body's going through when you're doing something like intermittent fasting and you're making some really good, solid changes in your life. Everything has to adjust and reposition itself while you're making these changes. For me personally, I feel so much better with my blood sugar issues being under control that I was never concerned really about my cholesterol. It was sort of just a mission that I had to see if I could incorporate some changes in what my body chemistry was by just eliminating a couple of things. And I'm not a vegan by any means. I'm not a vegetarian by any means. I personally just feel better when I don't consume as much protein. And I talked about this with you guys a lot about not seeking out extra protein, right? Like, just let protein naturally occur in your day. And by just simply eliminating that piece of chicken or that piece of salmon or cutting out the bacon for that period of time, I was able to really make some good adjustments in my overall health and well-being. So if you have high cholesterol that might be threatening you in a situation where your doctor might be considering putting you on some sort of medication, I would say reevaluate some things that you're doing in your feasting window. Check how it is that you're fasting. Could you make some subtle improvements? Could you make some tweaks that might help your body's chemistry balance back out? Exercise is another one of those things that will totally help with cholesterol as well. And that was one of the things that my doctor flat out said to me when I went to go see her last week. My cholesterol is still considered high by the charts at 204. But she said, looking at my weight, my age, my exercise level, all the other factors that make the big picture of who I am, she's not concerned in the least with what's going on with my cholesterol because I am a healthy person. So we have to look at some of these charts as well, the same way we are looking at those weight charts, or I know for me, even like a heart rate monitoring chart. If the big picture shows that you're a healthy person and you're feeling great, and you take the pieces and you put them together, and we see health and we see wellness, then we can't let ourselves be thrown off by something that might be askew because it might be temporary. And we have to look at these tests also as a snapshot of a day out of our entire life. And just like everything else that's going on with us, we don't always know what's going on inside when we have that blood drawn. And, and who knows, maybe I just could have been having a bad day. I was fasted when I went in to get my blood drawn both times, but who knows what my blood was sifting through? Who knows what my blood was trying to, work its way through when I had that 216 reading versus the 204? Who knows? So my message to you guys is definitely don't panic. There is a lot of information out there and a lot of people talking about the fact that their cholesterol does rise as they start to intermittent fast. I say it's okay. And again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just going off my own personal experience here. It's okay if other things are coming down and other areas of your life are improving, and just deal with that situation when other things have settled down. So now I don't have to worry about my blood sugar at all. That part of my life is fixed. I have boundaries that I've set up with sugar for myself. So sugar-wise, I'll always be healthy. And that keeps going down as well. Went from 5.9 to 5.7, 5.4 last year, 5.2 now. So that continues to improve itself without me having to do anything or even focus on my blood sugar issues at all anymore. I have a set plan for my food. I'm very conscious about my carbohydrates. I don't take anything into my nutritional plan that's going to not make me look and feel my best, while factoring in the thought that I want to live my most authentic life. So I do factor in desserts when they're appropriate. I still have an occasional cocktail when it's appropriate. I'm not a food fanatic or an extremist in any ways. I am living a very comfortable lifestyle, figuring out what foods make me look and feel my best while fixing some of the things that have been going on with my health. So I will continue to work on the cholesterol issue just because it's my own personal mission, just to kind of experiment and see what I can do as far as bringing it down again. I probably won't have it tested for another year. So next year I'll have it tested again. But I'm going to be very aware of what my body responds to chemically as far as nutrition. And it seems like at this stage of my life, I don't really need all that extra animal protein. I've been feeling fabulous. I have gone through another shift in body composition where all of my clothes are completely fitting me differently. And the only thing that I changed was the Sunday through Thursday animal protein. And I've gone completely vegetable and fat during my feasting dinner time. My fat shake has stayed the same. My exercise has stayed the same. Everything else in my lifestyle has stayed the same. I've just cut out that extra protein. And I always really emphasize for women especially that we over protein ourselves, that we have been duped into believing that we have to supplement with protein and that we have to have a protein on our plate every time we sit down to eat. And it's just not true. You can get by with a very plant-based style of living when you choose to, and then build in those boundaries of when you want to have your meat protein in. And for me, it's when someone else is fixing it and when I go out to eat. And then I still don't feel pressure to have a protein when I go out to eat. There's lots of times when Michael and I had a date night the other night that was, other than some shrimp we had on like a flatbread pizza, we went totally plant-based, and it was a really amazing meal. So don't be afraid to skip the meat. Don't be afraid to skip the chicken. Don't be afraid to skip the salmon. Don't be afraid to skip those things, and start incorporating a little bit more of those conscious carbohydrates and those colorful carbohydrates and the things that are really going to help you keep your body full of those nutrient dense foods. And see what you can do. I treat all of these things that are going on in my body as a game and a challenge. And I never look at them as anything that's negative, and I don't look at them as anything that's going to cause me to panic and jump ship with fasting. All of the benefits that I have personally received from fasting far outweigh a slight increase in my cholesterol. So I never panicked. I never thought it was a bad thing. I never blamed intermittent fasting for it. I always just look at these things as, wow, that's interesting. I wonder how I can manipulate that. I wonder what I can do in my day to see if I can incorporate a change or influence a change in my body by just tweaking what I'm doing in my feasting window. Remember, everything that's going on in our body is a direct relationship with what we're feasting on, not what we're fasting on, as long as we're fasting in a truly fasted state. So make sure you're being honest with yourself about what you're doing in your fasting window, and then always be open to reconsider what it is you're doing in your feasting window. That will be the ultimate influencer on what you're doing with your health and how you're feeling and how you're looking. Because the fasting part, your body knows how to take care of that. What we do up here in the food decision part will influence what we're doing in our fasting window, and then how that will ultimately affect our health and overall well-being. So I say treat everything that's going on in your body as a challenge and a game. Don't panic. Don't think that what you're doing is bad for you, as long as the decisions that you're making are, common sense, healthy, and everything else should balance itself out. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to jump on here to Facebook really quick and welcome everyone and see if anybody has any questions or comments. If you have seen an increase in your cholesterol since you've started intermittent fasting, leave us a comment and let us know what you're experiencing, and we'll see if we can have a discussion about that too. Pamela, hello, staying on the IF track while traveling. Congratulations, Pamela. I know you were a little bit concerned about that, so I'm glad things are going well. Julie, hello. Hi, Michael. I'm here. Oh, awesome. Hopefully Michael will say hi to you. Oh, cool. He did. Gina, hello from Palm Desert. Good to have you here with us tonight. Let's see. D, please subtitle your videos so they are equally accessible to partially hearing and deaf people. We can't follow otherwise. So, I can only subtitle it afterwards. And I haven't really done that yet. I would have to hire someone to do that, and I haven't really done that yet, D, so I apologize for that. Maria, love IF since May. Congratulations. Joy, this is something I really need to start doing. Yeah, just play with it a little bit. I think the subtle little tweaks, I will admit that I went on like a little bacon rampage when I realized how bad my turkey bacon was for my body, and it was just because the turkey bacon was so processed, and I was finding really clean pork bacon, and I hadn't eaten pork bacon in forever because Michael doesn't eat pork. And so when I was like, oh my gosh, I can eat bacon, it was like candy for me. And everywhere we went, I would order bacon, and I absolutely loved it. But I just don't think my body could break it down. And I don't even blame it on just the bacon. I think it was a couple other things too. But I really don't need to do that. Or at least not do it as much, I guess. I don't know. We're going out to breakfast tomorrow, so maybe I'll have some bacon tomorrow. Beth, taking holiday mini course and learning so much. Awesome. So glad to have you in the course, Beth. Annette, good morning from South Africa. Well, oh no, that's Annette. Annette, welcome. Good to have you here from South Africa. Janet from San Antonio, you're just down the road. Good to have you here. Teresa from Wisconsin, welcome. Desiree, do you do podcasts as well? If not, please consider. Desiree, we're starting a podcast in January. We're super excited about it. And part of our podcast will be interviewing everyday real women who have been intermittent fasting and sharing their story and their results. So we're super excited to launch the podcast in January. And Jane, hi, first time here doing IF and keto for 4 months and lost 30 pounds while recuperating from foot surgery. Jane, good for you. IF is the best way to recuperate from any kind of surgery or anything. Yvonne, I can't wait to get my lab work done again. Yvonne, I can't wait either. And girlfriend, you're my big vegan influence. I have been loving having meatless meals. We even did a mock Thanksgiving last night where I videotaped some stuff for my course members. And I skipped the turkey and didn't even miss it, except I missed the cranberry sauce because I didn't have anywhere to put the cranberry sauce. But I missed the turkey. I didn't have turkey at all and didn't even miss it at all. So all vegetables and fat on my plate yesterday. It was great. Sonia, good morning from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. 2 ladies from South Africa. Welcome. So Sonia's here from South Africa, and Annette is here from South Africa. That's cool. Good to have you here. My potassium was high last week when I had blood work done. Were they concerned about it, Susan? Googled foods high in potassium, and what do you know? Salmon and avocado, so I cut down on that too. Yeah, I think that you might want to watch this too. The mineral waters and stuff you drink have potassium in them too. And remember this: if it's not like over like really high, I would say cut back a little bit, and then just monitor how much you're eating of the foods that do have the high potassium in it. Okay, I am going to welcome everybody here from YouTube, if you guys don't mind, on Facebook. See who's here with us. Nikita from Washington, welcome. I'm in the current holiday mini course, Loving IF. Nikita, so good to have you in our course. Rita from North Carolina, July group, alumni now. Finally catching you live. I'm off tomorrow, getting my lab results tomorrow. First time A1C, only because I requested it. Awesome. Can't wait to hear your results too, Rita. Make sure you share them with us. Patricia from Washington, welcome. Jill from Washington. Vita. I am so glad you are doing this video. I just got my lab results, and like usual for me, my LDL is a bit high. I would just keep working at it and just eliminate those foods that could be possibly causing that for you, and just do it gradually so you don't feel like you're being too deprived. Jenna from Texas, welcome. Diego was gone. Linda, I love the plant-based. By the way, how are your clothes fitting different? I'll tell you in just a second. Jody, hi Diane, and also happy to have finally made it live. Good to have you here, Jody. And let's see. Let's see. Happy to be Taylor from Georgia's here. My girl, Mrs. LaCroix, is here. I have a question on cholesterol, but have you noticed your cycle changing? I went from regular to unregular. Your thoughts? Yeah, Mrs. LaCroix, that happens a lot because your hormones are adjusting. I'm postmenopausal, so nothing changed for me. It did in the beginning. So I was menopausal. My cycle came back, and then I went away again, and then now I'm postmenopausal. So Zoe Blue. My cholesterol went up, but my neuropath is not concerned because of the overall numbers and my great health. My MD wants me to go on statins, no drugs for me. Yeah, your MD probably has some sort of relationship with the pharmaceutical company or something. So cool. Okay, let's see. So how do my clothes fit differently? I'm a big jeans wearer. I love jeans, and I like skinny cut, like low-rise jeans. So I've noticed that in the waist, they're just looser. I always say that my knees are the only thing holding my jeans up these days. If it wasn't for my knees, like literally, that's the only place my jeans are fitting snug. I also can just feel an overall, like, where you get those little areas on your body where your jeans rub, like my jeans aren't rubbing me there anymore. It's just I have this confidence feeling when I'm wearing my jeans, and I can visually see a decrease in some just overall body fat. So, and the only thing that I've really done differently, like I said, is just cut out the extra protein in my diet. So we all know that protein that you're not using just gets stored. And when we talk about this in the course about your hunger hormones and where and how your hunger hormones decide where it puts extra stuff that your body's not using. And so I just don't think I am a heavy protein person. I have always felt better on a vegetable kind of diet, and all through my youth, every time we would even go for pizza, I'd always order a vegetarian pizza with no cheese. My family thought I was crazy. But I loved a vegetable pizza, and I can't handle cheese, so I would just have no cheese on it. And it's funny how our food stories come back, right? And I look back at the best times of my life when I felt my best, when I was most confident, when physique wise, I felt really comfortable in my own skin. And it was really when I leaned more toward vegetables and away from meats. And I never really did it purposely. I've never really I don't claim to be anything. I don't claim to be gluten-free. I don't claim to be dairy-free. I don't claim to be vegan or vegetarian or paleo. You guys know I don't follow any of that, because if I said I was gluten-free and then someone busted me out with my husband having a real pizza, like, then you're like a hypocrite. So I'm not free of anything. I'm conscious about what I put in my body, and I choose foods that make me look and feel my best and live my most authentic life in that moment. And there are going to be times when I'm still going to have some gluten in my body. It's just the way it is, because I'm not celiac and it's not going to kill me. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. And there will be times when you might see me have an apple, because there's times when I just want an apple. All of those things. I put cheese on stuff still, even though dairy sometimes doesn't make me feel great. I just don't depend on those foods for my happiness, or I don't depend on those foods to sustain my life. Those are conscious decisions that I make in the moment, with that question that I always talk about with, if I have this today, how will I feel tomorrow? And am I going to be okay with that? And sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm not. And I make those decisions based on every given day, the social event that's taking place, and who I'm with. And so I don't really claim to be anything. Alexandra, periods have normalized and no more hot flashes. I don't take lots of supplements, just MCT oil. I exercise daily and have maintained all of my muscle. I feel stronger towards the 19-22 hour of my fast. Alexandra, that's awesome. I would say that's my story too. So congratulations. Happy to be Taylor. What do your evening meals look like when you don't have protein? Vegetables and fat. Happy to be Taylor. Alexandra, never count calories and eat very healthy and still drink red wine. Yep, I don't count calories. I don't count macros. I don't do any of that. Zoe Blue, this is one of your best videos ever. Oh, thank you. So I would say, the best thing that we can do about our nutrition is just pause and breathe, and know that food should be our friend and it shouldn't be our enemy, and it shouldn't be anything that makes us crazy. We should I don't want to say honor food, but we should really respect food and the power that it has in our body, whether that be good or bad. It's depending on how well we're listening to our body, and our body will always send us the signs and signals that it has in relationship with the food that we put in it, right? And it's not this relationship with food or this relationship with food. It's this relationship with food that gets us in trouble, and the chemical reactions that our body has with what we put in it. So if you have a good relationship with your body mentally and emotionally, then the physical part of it will follow by the choices that you're making based on what kind of sound, healthy body you want to have, and not something that's ailing you mentally and emotionally, and why it is that you use those foods to trigger those things. Alexander, on and off for years, I've been weight training in a lot of my period for some reason. Never got pregnant till I was 39 and after IF. Alexandra, that's so funny you say that. I guess there's a thing going around called keto babies or something like that. And it's not even so much that it's intermittent fasting, because I had 2 bouts of infertility issues when we were trying to have Gabby and before we tried to have Gabby. And when I cleaned up my nutrition, took all processed foods out, really eliminated animal proteins, no sugar, no alcohol, no caffeine. I did that 2 times after a year of infertility issues. Both times, the 3rd month, I got pregnant. It's crazy. It happened exactly the same way twice for me. And the second time, I was nearing 40, and was at the last month before we were going to decide. I was done. I was like, I couldn't take it emotionally anymore, trying to figure out what was wrong with my body. And I was scheduled for exploratory surgery to find out what was causing me to be infertile. And my doctor wanted me to go on hormone replacement therapies and do all this stuff to kind of expedite the, us being pregnant, because I was going to be 40 through the pregnancy and at delivery, and I just couldn't do that. And so the December of the year 2004, I think it was, no, 2005, I think. I don't know. 2005, because Gabby was born 2006. 2006. I was going to be done. If I wasn't pregnant by December, I was done, and we were just going to adopt a baby. And December 7th of that year, I found out I was pregnant. It was 3 months, almost to the day, that I cleaned up my nutrition. So not only is intermittent fasting a great way to heal your body hormonally, that can eliminate a lot of that infertility issues, but cleaning up your diet as well, because all the food that we eat has hormonal factors. And there are a lot of women who are successfully conceiving children after intermittent fasting. And I think it's because we're just cleaning up our diet in the process as well, and creating a healing environment for our systems. So like I say, fast it away, right? Any ailment that your body has, any issues that you're dealing with your body, any pains, any aches, anything you're not happy with your body, fast it away. It will bring greatness back to you. And we've seen it so many times in this community and with the women who have been taking our course. I think anything that you want to make better in your life, if you fast it away, it'll get better. And we were talking about that in the course with one of our course members too. Who, she wasn't feeling well, and she wanted to know if she should eat because she wasn't feeling well. And I'm like, no, you never feed something that feels bad. If something's feeling bad in your body, if you feel like you're about to get sick, if you have an achy back, if you're feeling sad, even emotionally, if you're not feeling yourself, fast it away. Fasting cures everything. And my motto for 2018 is going to be, do nothing. Do nothing, and everything in your life will get better. And by do nothing, I mean fast. And you'll see amazing things happen for yourself. Kara, there was some announcement we were supposed to make tonight. And girlfriend, I forgot what they were. So I know we're going to talk about... t-shirts. So the t-shirts from our For Today's Aging Woman shop are going to be up for order till, I think we're going to close it down Wednesday, just so we can get stuff to the printer, and we want to get the shirts off to the women who've already ordered them. So we're going to close out this print session on Wednesday night. So if you want a shirt, you do not have to be a member of our course to order a shirt. You just have to be a woman who's interested in fasting. We have 3 different sayings available, lots of different styles. We have tanks, we have cap sleeves, we have t-shirts, we have, what else we have? 3/4 length shirts. We have long sleeve shirts with really cute hoods that are unisex, so men and women. And like I said, 3 of our favorite phrases. Hungry is where the magic happens. It's not a diet, it's a timing thing. And fast long, feast well. Great gifts for yourself, great gifts for your girlfriends who are fasting, great gifts for your husband who's supporting you while you're fasting. You can cover a lot of bases there. So it's For Today's Aging Woman shop.com, and Kara posted the link there. And then we're going to have some course changes as well. We're going to close down both the alumni course and the introductory course, I think the first week of December, and it's going to close down forever. So if you want to jump into one of these 2 courses, I would highly recommend that you do that sooner than later. We're going to take them down and not bring them back, and we're going to start doing some new stuff for 2018. So I'd highly recommend jumping in if you've been thinking about it before it's too late. Kara, is there anything else I forgot about? Lisa Delgado, yes, fast it away. That'll be another shirt we have to make for sure. Let's see, course for New Year. Okay, I already did that. Kara put the Pam. I have just started IF and I'm loving it. I did just go to the doctor and my cholesterol was really high, as was my blood pressure. Since I have been doing keto and lost 50 pounds this year, I was surprised. There might be some other factors you have going on in your life that could be affecting that, and it might not have anything to do with fasting. So, Pam, I would look at the big picture of your life and just have a real serious talk with yourself about some things that you might be doing in your life that's causing that to happen. And then don't stress about it, because that could be affecting your blood pressure as well. So really use a journal is what I highly recommend, is journalizing what you're doing, because sometimes we can forget in the moment, and really keep a good record of what's going on with you so you can figure out what it is that's causing the cholesterol to be high. And, if it is the animal protein, I would say just get rid of it for a few months and then see if you can get retested and see what happens. It's worth the experiment to cut out something like animal protein and see if it will be that thing that will lower your cholesterol. And if it's really high and you want to get it down, I would be one of those people who would incorporate some niacin. And there is some no flush niacin, because niacin is that supplement that can cause you to kind of have a red face and a little bit of a tingly flush in your system. So there's a flush, I think it's called, niacin. Look for that and try to incorporate that and see if that might help get things kick-started for you as well. And then let us know if we can help you here at all too. Okay, so course, t-shirt shop, course for the new year. You are so cool. I want to be strong with IF. Jessica, you just got to practice. Time and consistency, girlfriend. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, so new course is coming in January. We're really excited about it. We're going to incorporate a lot more than just intermittent fasting. We've learned a lot this year from the courses that we've done and the women that I've had consult calls with and the relationships that we've built, and really have figured out what some of the sticking points for women are in regards to living their most authentic life. And so we're really going to start focusing on some of that stuff for 2018. So we hope you'll come with us on this journey for 2018 and see what we can do as far as making some really amazing changes for our life in every aspect of our life. So I'm going to jump off of here tonight. We will be here tomorrow as well. Kara, you're going to kill me again. I don't remember what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but it's going to be a great topic. And then we're taking Wednesday night off. And of course, we're taking Thursday night off. And then I'm going to jump on sometime on Friday. I don't know the exact time yet. And have a pep talk with you guys about post-holiday feelings and what to do if maybe you woke up Friday morning not feeling well. I'm going to be here to talk you through it. So jump on with us Friday. We'll probably post before we go live so that you guys will have a little bit of heads up time. I just don't know what time yet because I don't know what my schedule is. So have a super night tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the women who've jumped on from all over the world. We love having our international women with us as well. Together, we will get through this. I promise you. No one is going to be left alone. Thanks as always for all the helpful information and encouragement. Oh, girlfriend, you're welcome. Okay, I will see you guys later. Have a good night, and we'll talk tomorrow night.